YNW Melly might be. Let's see what this is about.
What's popping, y'all? We might finally be getting to
Why is the audio so
end
low?
of an era, which is one of the most extended trials we've seen in our age of hip-hop history, which is YNW Melly. One of the craziest stories with a double homicide, an alleged double homicide.
That nigga did it, bro. I saw the evidence. I followed the case and everything. He did that shit.
On his own two close friends. And
even if he didn't do it, bro, his friends got murdered. He heard news of his friends getting murdered, even if he didn't. Listen to me when I say this. His friends were murdered. The next day, he was out shooting a music video, smiling, acting like nothing even happened. He did it. Even if he didn't do it, he still has some shit up here he needs to. Because if my friends, my brothers that are part of my everything, they get murdered, I'm not leaving the house for a week at least. I get everybody processes grief differently, but your friends aren't going to get murdered and the next day you're outside shooting a music video, smiling in the hood, chilling like it ain't. Stop it. Stop it, nigga.
YNW Bortland was one of the people that was involved in this case, charged, facing multiple life sentences, and YNW Melly facing the death sentence. But today, after a mistrial, keep in mind, and these guys have been locked up since, I think,
in Florida, they do the death penalty? Do they do death penalty in Florida? He needs it. No cap. He needs the needle. Why death penalty has been lost in Yeah, my nigga, low key, they need to see what's up with that.
2018,
I don't even condone for killing, and I feel like people can be saved, but hey, man, this nigga's evil, bro. He's on some King Von timing, bro.
Melly, Bortland, I don't know if they picked him up 2018 or 2020, but today he finally took a plea and says YNW Bortland has avoided the possibility of multiple life sentences after taking a 10-year plea deal as an accomplice.
I don't care. I'm pausing a lot because I don't care how niggas say niggas is innocent. Somebody innocent, if y'all really understood the inner workings of, or even if you just watch the basic crime show that reiterates and kind of shows you how the inner workings of homicide investigations and cases working, y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy if you think somebody who is innocent is being charged and being accused of is being charged of multiple life sentences, not one but multiple. That means for double to 3 murders, at least 2. Y'all crazy if y'all, even if he didn't do it, which he's obvious he did it. Come on, bro. I'm saying, like, gang, y'all crazy to call somebody like that even innocent, even if they didn't have nothing to do with it. Even if they don't get convicted, which there's no way he doesn't. He still did something. I don't care if that nigga set it up. He did something, bro.
In the YNW Melly double murder case. And I'm going to play you guys the clip right now from the Law and Crime. They got the inside footage.
Right.
So, Mr. Henry, again.
To get started in data
analytics. I
just
got hit with an ad, man. Bro did it. I have to keep saying that. It's so obvious when you see the evidence. He obviously did it, bro.
And 2 cases, we're going to do one at a time. In case number 19, 1871 CF10A.
Once one fall, we saw it in the YSL. Once one falls, they all fall. Even King Salam took a plea.
As to count 3, accessory after the fact to murder in the first degree. And as to count 4, accessory after the fact as to murder in the first degree.
Look, this nigga was getting 2 life sentences and he's just an accessory. That means more than likely he didn't even pull the fucking trigger. If I can remember correctly, he was just a driver. But it was obvious that him and Melly planned it because Melly was in the trunk. I believe Melly was in the trunk. They didn't know that, but Melly was in the trunk and he shot both of them from behind while he was in the trunk and they were sitting in the car. So yeah, he's just an accomplice and they was throwing the book at him. So imagine what Melly's getting. Ooh-wee.
How are you going to plead, sir?
God
guilty, not guilty, or no contest? In case number 23, 10643 CF10A. As to count 1, tampering with a witness in a capital felony, and count 7, unlawful use.
And Bortland's the one that do right now. He's the one who dropped them off. I believe he dropped them off to the hospital. And they pinged YNW Melly's phone, and they said his phone was in the same areas that the car was in when it traveled to get to the hospital after they were shot. And they couldn't identify no car that shot the car. And the way the shots were, like I said, it came from behind. So that means who they believe, Melly, whose phone was in that car, was in the trunk and shot both of them, set them up over some money disputes. It was either that or somebody was driving directly behind them and fired in the car and shot them and died. But that'd be weird how everybody would get shot except Bortland, of course. But that even if that was a possibility, nobody knew what the car looked like. No, they never found anybody's car that said that, like nothing like that. They had crime scene analysts come back and say, literally reconstruct the crime. They said, this is how we think it happened. They said, we think somebody was in the trunk and they shot both of them from the back. The only person that they said wasn't in the car, was in somebody else's car, was Melly. But they can't prove that Melly was in another car. But they can say his phone was following the same locations of the car's route it took while they were shot. So it was obvious Melly did it. It was obvious his friend Bortland helped him set it up and was driving the car, because Bortland's the one who dropped him off to the hospital too. And we're gonna assume at some point in time Melly got out the car and went with some. Watch, one day somebody's gonna be making a, like how we be watching these crime videos. One day somebody's gonna be making a video about this shit to explain how that nigga got a life sentence or death sentence, whatever. Like, I'm trying to tell y'all, he did it. He did that.
So the two-way communication device. How are you gonna plead, sir? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? I will accept your no contest pleas as to each. I'm going to find a factual basis to support each based upon my review of each electronic probable cause affidavit, as well as your stipulation in court here today. I'm going to further find that you have freely, voluntarily, and intelligently waived your rights, that you have knowingly entered each plea with the advice of competent counsel who you've told me that you are satisfied with, that you understand the nature of the charges and the consequences of the plea. Accordingly, and pursuant to the negotiated agreement, I will sentence you as follows. In case number 19-1871 CF10A, as to count 3 and count 4, I will adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 10 years in Florida State Prison. That will be followed by 6 years of reporting probation. I will impose mandatory court costs. Pursuant to 943.325, I will need a set of your prints and DNA. Pursuant to 938.27, I will impose a cost of prosecution of $100. Sir, I'm also ordering restitution in that case payable to Terry, T-E-R-R-I Bagley, B-A-G-L-E-Y, and Ashley, A-S-H-L-E-Y Phillips, P-H-I-L-L-I-P-S, and reserving as to the amount. I'm going to give the state 120 days to tell me the amount of the restitution. If they fail to do so within 120 days, there will be no restitution. If they come back with an amount and the attorneys agree on the amount.
Yeah, okay. So, okay, I thought he was going to have to testify for that 10 years, but he doesn't have to testify. But still, the fact that he accepted the plea says enough. Even like they say, you're not necessarily guilty if you take the plea, but just the fact that he's took the plea lets me know that they're coming down hard on this. You feel me? So that means in Melly, there's no taking a plea deal for him because it's a murder. And it's like, if you take the plea deal, you're spending the rest of your life in jail regardless. So although he got kind of all right sentencing compared to what he really did and was involved, there's no doing this for Melly. So I guess even though he's not going to have to testify against Melly or nothing like that, he still has to serve bars. So that's one nigga out. So now it's just Melly. We'll see how he hold up.
Now, I will impose that as another condition of your sentence to pay back. If they come back with an amount and the attorneys do not agree.
This was posted as a gonna plea. He pled no contest. But here it says, yeah, so for reference, academics coined this term called the gonna plea. And he says, for when you take a plea that basically confirms that your mans did the crime, since part of your plea is admitting things that your co-defendant entire case was trying to deny. Now, in this particular scenario, it was the car that Gunna was in, which is where this came from.
Like, if you're innocent and you know you're innocent and you can prove you're innocent, and you should be able to prove you're innocent if you are innocent. I ain't gonna say you should never, because I've never been in this predicament to like really fully give a perspective of like definitely, but I feel partially like if you're innocent and you should be able to prove you're innocent, like no completely innocent niggas just standing in a courtroom more times than not for like a murder. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if you're innocent, you know you're innocent, you should be able to prove that. But if you can't prove that, then it's like you're guilty. Like you're pretty much guilty. And you know you're guilty, but you're still just going to use this term as like a way to like beat around the bush of like, hey, you're still saying you're guilty, because if you fully thought you were innocent and you know you could prove you as innocent, wouldn't you not take a plea? You know what I mean? But unless you feel like if this shit continues, I'm probably going to get convicted for more, but I don't want to come out and say that I did this or like I'm guilty, because then I'm going to throw my mans under the bus. So I'd rather just take this and beat around the bush. And like, I don't know. It just seems like just a lot of beating around the bush. Like, just say you're guilty. Just say you admit that, hey, give me my time. You wouldn't accept something that you don't deserve, right? So,
And they're
I
saying
don't
that
know.
Gunna pled that it wasn't his guns. So he
That
said
needs to
that,
be
yo,
big,
those
boy.
are not my guns. So if you're saying it's not your guns and there's only 2 people in the car, you're saying that it's the other person's guns. And even Young Thug would later come out and say, hey, look, this guy told. Like, even if he took his Alfred plea, which is pleading out, he said that we're trying to fight against this being a gang, and you sat there and said that this is a gang. So they're trying to point that on Bortland as well, which Bradford Cohen, who elite lawyer, criminal lawyer, out of Florida, Kodak's lawyer, this guy got Kodak Black pardoned by Donald Trump. That's how you know he's elite. But he's given his own thoughts on this. So I'm gonna play you guys this clip because he seems to disagree with people that are alleging that Bortland told.
Tech
He
degrees
didn't tell, like he didn't
tradition.
tell, but it just like says again, if you feel like I don't even need to hear this nigga's take. I just feel like now let's hear this nigga take. What am I talking about? He's a lawyer.
All right, let's get to it. Let's talk YNW Portland and YNW Melly. The information is coming in fast and...
I don't know. I just feel like if you know you're innocent and you should be able to prove you're innocent, then you shouldn't just be like, well, I'm just going to accept the time we're giving me. Because I know if this were to go to trial, I would be able to prove that I did not do this. Whether that be phone records, located, I don't know. I don't know, bro.
Furious to my office. People are calling me left and right. They saw the post. You know what time it is. And they're telling me that YNW Portland is not going to be a flipper, and he is not going to be the cheese eater I previously said that he could become. And he is going to give a statement. I don't know what that statement's going to be, but his attorney is an excellent attorney.
So he has to, never mind. He's giving a statement too. I wonder what that statement is. What's the point of giving a statement though if you just say I'm guilty or you're accepting the time, bro? That's like, nigga. That's the equivalent of you to get you to be dating a girl and then she gets pregnant. She tells you it's your baby, and then a year into the baby being born, or the baby's about to be born, or it's just born, and she's like, you actually find out, well, hey, this baby's not yours. Are you gonna sit around and continue to take care of that baby? You're gonna be like, I'm leaving you. Like this isn't my child. I'm gonna go be with somebody who is gonna have my. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, bro. Like it's just like. Nah, this is stupid, right? Am I the only person that thinks like I just think gang did it, bro? Gang, they did it, bro. They did it.